Now the kicker, Brandon McManus, about ready to get us started. And we are underway from Miami. Here comes Devin Hester bringing it out. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by one of the brightest young stars in the NFL, a fourth-year pro out of Oregon, Justin Herbert.
And he is just absolutely marvelous to watch throw a football. That's something I could do all day long, watch him throw routes versus air. But he's even more impressive when their body's on the field, and he's creating with big throws downfield.
Herbert to throw right away. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. But good hands there defensively, and it's second down.
So much. Leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. That was Justin Reed, the safety, who got to the quarterback. But defensively, you really can't script the start much better. You get a 3-and-out and a sack.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. They kept him short of a first down on first and second down. And then on third down, they pick up a sack. What tremendous momentum for them to start this game.
Here's Sam Martin now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Davis now to return it. He juked him. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. They'll be led out by their electrifying signal caller, the former Virginia Tech Hokie, Michael Vick.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Not sure if he was looking for a cutback lane or whether he was trying to get to the corner, but he didn't find either. They ended up forcing him out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Michael Vick. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. And he is going to have an Eagles first down, and that was something else. A big pickup on 4th and long to give them a new set of downs.
I'll tell you what, this is not for the faint of heart right here. 4th down, this is taking a big risk, but it's as good a play call as you can imagine. And the defense just not able to come up with the stop they needed. And this is not just a first down, but a big play as well.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Vic with a give to Sanders. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Now, meanwhile, the throw by Vic incomplete. It was knocked away.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Vic on 2nd down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of...
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles are on the board first here this afternoon. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Hester to return from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Herbert. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Still in the first quarter, but what a great start for them. I mean, they've controlled the airways, Charles, on both sides. They had the passing touchdown, then they intercept the pass of the other squad and take it back for another score.
Brandon, I know we have a ton of time left, but what an early backbreaker they just delivered. They're up early, and they appear to be totally dialed in. And that offense, they're forced to run right back out, still shaking up a bit, but feeling the pressure to put something on the scoreboard. They've got to be careful here.
McManus's point after is good, and that'll make the score 14-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And Hester content to hold on to this one and bring it out to the 25. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Fresh off of 6 the other way, it's Herbert. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. They overloaded that time of the safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Here's Herbert. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you're like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
But there's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
To the air again, Herbert. That'll be caught by Rice. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Herbert. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he is going to have an Eagles first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. Two minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Herbert now. Here's Hester open right side. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Herbert off of play action. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of...
He's got a man. Complete. Down to the 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Juju Smith-Schuster. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Eagles will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And it is now 21-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
And before we get to our next drive, we remind you that while NFL teams are playing some big games here in December and January, we've got some big games coming up as well in the Madden Championship Series. Next on the calendar, the Playoff Challenge. That's coming up January the 10th, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. We'll take home the belt. You can catch all the action live on the EA Madden NFL Twitch channel.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores just like this one.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted.
Picked up by James Bradbury.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together.
That is caught by Smith-Schuster.
There he goes again.
And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
You said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. McManus now for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down, 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
All right, Brandon, back to you, too, in just a bit. But first, welcome everyone to downtown Orlando and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. That one good for 37 yards.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Vic goes play action. He's got his man Sharp complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 more yards there and another 1st down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Throwing, Vic. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
3rd quarter from Miami. This is 2nd and 10. To throw, Vic. Rolling to his right. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end. Not when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Eagles take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that makes this 35-0 now. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They'll run with a former Bill, Zach Moss. And this is going to be an Eagles 1st down as the tackle made at the 26-yard line.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
Herbert has it knocked free. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So they keep the ball, but work to do on 2nd and long. Now it's Herbert. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Only able to gain a couple there. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Returnable here for Davis. A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Let's go. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
1st down, Vic. Buying time to his left. Throw left side complete. That's Sanders. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down. A give running left. It's Sanders. The 20. 5. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They had done a nice job on him in the 1st half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the 2nd half, that got done.
Now McManus for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Hester to return from his end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Eagles offense back out, getting set for this next drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Out of the gun, Herbert. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. From his own end zone, Herbert. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And what else could go wrong at this point? This is going to be a defensive touchdown as they keep piling it on. That's something you have to be wary of on your side of the field, that close to the goal line. The defense, they are looking for that football. They got it. They scored it.
You are so right, and the quarterback has to speed things up himself. So close to the goal line, they're going to get after you. Make sure you get rid of the football and in a safe place.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Hester to return from his end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Back to the air, Herbert on second down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Herbert. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll take it at the 42. A good head-down running on the return gets about 15 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. You never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver. He's closing in on 200 yards. Wow, that's a really big game.
A big play there for Philly. 42 yards.
And even with the game seemingly in hand, they're continuing to fire away, pressing the ball down the field. Listen, it's worked all day. No reason to go away from it now.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Sanders is into the end zone for an Eagle touchdown. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
McManus's point after is good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Hester to return from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points.
On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
McManus now for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
Hester to return from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory.
So that'll do it from here for Charles Davis and the rest of our crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com/Madden. And with that, we sign off from Miami.